I met heroic and reeking of this place. I'll never get the smell out of my clothes. I'll have to burn them.
We've known enough grief this 10-day traveler. Don't be the cause of more.
Don't be grumpy, Roland. We'll get to the city soon. I am not grumpy. Scowl on your face would frighten a troll.
No helping it.
You're an idiot.
We're exposed now.
Damn goblins! Oh, I was just gonna let it fall off, stick it in my satchel. Ain't letting anyone here near me. They all sat and watched while Zevlor near got us killed. Well, finally. Someone who ain't got horns where their good sense should be. We expected a soft job. Something to test the new lad, maybe, but not a bloody goblin nest. Most would have turned tail at the sight, but not Liam, no. He charged him, the stupid bastard. Nah. He must have thought we were following. Always the optimist was Liam. Hope they cut him down quick before he saw we were gone. Small mercies.
Die if I met heroic and reeking of this place.
Don't you
I'll
like
never get the smell out of my
I know you have it.
Touch me and I'll bite your fingers off! I will!
My love, you were a caravan escort for 3 days, and you quit in the middle of your shift.
You sound like your father.
Well, it was his caravan.
Ain't leaving town for a good while after this. If it ain't the fearless Goblin Slayer, you sure you want to be seen with me? I ain't exactly popular with this lot. Please. A good sword will get you farther than honor any day. What do you want, anyway? I ain't local. I knew the fella in charge, but barely said 2 words to the devil's swarm in his place. Aye. His name's Halsin, and if he's still alive, he'll be cursing the day he laid eyes on me. We've got a contract to track down some relic, and he wanted in on the job. Eyes lit up when he heard about it. Didn't work out, though. Goblins got him when we were turning tail. He's either digging latrines or boiling in a cookpot by now. Job's all yours, if you got a death wish. There's a wizard in Baldur's Gate that'll pay gobloads for a relic supposedly buried round these parts. But gold ain't any use if you're too cold to spend it. If I knew that, I wouldn't be back here with half my crew gone. But look, if you're itching to meet Kellenvor, I won't stop you. It's called the Night Song. Supposed to be hidden under the temple where the goblins jumped us. I'd give you the map and wish you a happy funeral, but my mate Brian kept hold of it like his own todger. Goblins made sure to the fat old chunk. All I've got's the contract. It'll show you where we turn back, if you feel like dying. Don't thank me. I'll be well on my way to Baldur's Gate when you die.
Die if I met Eroica reeking of this place.
Dennis?
Never get the smell out of my clothes.
Yeah, right.
Burn them.
Don't you lie to me, boy. I know you have it.
Touch me and I'll bite your fingers off. I will.
What will we do for work when we get to the city?
Whatever we for a good while after
I think
this.
I'd make a fine teacher. Or a baker. Or a butcher.
A butcher? Really?
Sure, blood excites me.
Right.
Don't be grumpy, Roland. Get back here.
I already told you I don't have it.
Your face.
How stupid are you?
You're an idiot.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
So, we're traveling with the famed Blade of Frontiers. I feel safer already. Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
People are dumb enough to ask.
True.
And we'll have a dog, right?
They don't allow them in Baldur's Gate.
Cats, though?
A little orange cat. And a house with a little door so that it can come and go as it pleases.
And a high fence to keep eavesdroppers out.
Thanks. I suppose we'll all need it.
What about you? Big plans for when you get to the city? I think I've heard of that place. Something about a stuffed dragon's head in one of the dining rooms. It's settled, Dennis. You, me, and the Elf Song Tavern first thing when we arrive. If we see you there, we'll get you a pint. For your finder's fee.
I'll talk to the guards in Baldur's Gate. I speak their language.
My love, you were a caravan escort.
Don't you lie to me. I know you have it.
Touch me and I'll bite your fingers off. I will.
You're the one who helped at the gate. Glad to have another sword. We might need it.
No word from the scouts yet?
No, sir. But if there's a clear path past those...
Have you spoken to Korga? Of course, you have your own business to attend to. But if the druids won't abandon this ritual of theirs, it will be trouble. For all of us.
These tieflings prove fragile. I've a mind to end their misery myself.
Calm yourself. They're survivors, not soldiers.
I fail to see the distinction.
Feel like we're being watched.
Aradin's back with his tail between his legs. I'm glad for your help, but I'd hoped you were Halsin. Hells, I didn't mean it that way. Halsin's important, but you're the first bit of good faith we've had since he left. Keep your wits about you. Things are tense with the druids here. Never ends.
More goblins. What's next?
All right. Time to skulk about.
Feel like we're being watched.
More goblins. What's next?
Carefully now.
You made it look so easy. The killing. an eye on you. Understand?
If I choose to kill you, you will not even see it.
You approach the sigil on the stone. Magic glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if malfunctioning. It looks slightly dangerous.
A hand? Anyone? Just your average traveler stuck between realms. Pull me out, and we'll get properly introduced. That's it! Go on! Keep pulling! Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep. Apologies. I'm usually better at this. A bit shocked, but friend, it's a relief and a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Say, but I know you, don't I? In a manner of speaking. You were on the Norse Lloyd as well. And I can only assume you too were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insertion in the ocular region. No use sugarcoating it, is there? The insertee we speak of, this parasite, are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it will turn us into mind flayers? It's a process known as ceramorphosis, and let me assure you, it is to be avoided. You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you? A doctor? Surgeon? Uncannily adroit with a knitting needle?
You seem to know enough about our condition to realize it's beyond most clerics' skills.
Most, no doubt, but I find myself hoping to be in the presence of the few. You don't happen to be one of them. As we've established, few enough can. It's not exactly a common affliction. We're most certainly going to need a healer, and soon, too. How about we lend each other a helping hand once more and look for a healer together? Oh, but I see you're traveling with plenty of company already. Perhaps I can join you later instead. I'll make my way to your camp and embark upon a succulent slow cook to be consumed upon your return.
Dead goblins over there.
Worth checking for supplies, maybe.
So, you know about these parasites. Will we survive them?
Only if my people extract them. The only other cure is the blade.
Okay. Wonderful.
Enough time wasted. Battle awaits.
So, Gith, aren't you worried your kind will punish you for consorting with us?
My name is Lae'zelk Chucky, and my kin will understand my need for servants. They will help you, but only if I ask.
Queen search for you, Lae'zel?
I know they do not. It is my responsibility to cleanse myself.
They pursued the Nautiloid. Perhaps they were trying to free you.
A vain notion. I am one of many, and will not be a burden to my queen.
People up ahead. Something's wrong.
I can't stop the bleeding, Bray.
Press the wound. Not like that.
Like what then?
I don't know. Lae'zel, how would you punish someone who wronged?
You're a true soul. You can't die. Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
He's hurt badly. An owlbear got him deep. If there's anything you can do...
I'm watching you.
The injured man locks eyes with you. A familiar squirming churns in your head. Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andric and Brenna, new recruits, yours to shepherd.
Protect them. She is a true soul. Mind her. She will... She...
Edwin! Ed! Please!
He's with the Absolute now. You're a true soul. Edwin, our brother, he was chosen. Like you. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin.
What? Are you testing us?
A true soul, like you, has been chosen by the Absolute. You speak with her voice. Your words are her command. She grants you the power to enforce her will. And when the time comes, the true souls, you, will rule.
I will serve at no ruler's side but my queen's.
We know that all too well, ma'am, but the Absolute sent us here.
We're looking for fugitives. Survivors from that ship that crashed farther west of here. We don't know what they look like, but anyone who survived that crash is bound to be injured. That's enough to get us started. The Absolute wants them found. At any cost. You! Brenna! Kill her!
Over here.
On the move.
Can't even catch my breath.
How would You're a true soul. You can't die. Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
He's hurt badly, and Owlbear got him deep. If there's anything you can do...
I'm watching you.
The injured man locks eyes with you. A familiar squirming churns in your head. Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andric and Brenna, new recruits. Yours to shepherd.
Protect them. She is a true soul. Mind her. She will... She...
Edwin! Ed! Please!
He's with the Absolute now. You're a true soul. Edwin, our brother, he was chosen. Like you. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin.
What? Are you testing us? The Absolute is our goddess. She's going to rip down the old world order, start a new one. Then we'll be the ones with the power. Well, you will firstly, true soul. You don't need me to explain that.
A true soul, like you, has been chosen by the Absolute. You speak with her voice, and when the time comes, the true souls, you will rule.
Oh, I like these two. All zeal and no brains.
We know that all too well, ma'am, but the Absolute sent us here.
We're looking for fugitives, survivors from that ship that crashed farther west of here. We don't know what they look like, but anyone who survived that crash is bound to be injured. That's enough to get us started. The Absolute wants them found. at any cost.
I'm sorry, true soul. I only repeated what I thought I knew. It seems the Absolute still has a great deal to teach me.
What? And just leave Ed? I suppose he'd want us to go on. Find a way to honor his sacrifice.
May the Absolute guide us.
True soul. Absolute. What do they mean?
Strange power resonates within the corpse. It calls to you. Your limbs move of their own accord. There's something of value here, something your mind craves. Why let its host's memories go to waste? The tadpole has absorbed it all. Its experience could nourish you, strengthen you. Your muscles loosen. The tadpole breaks free of its deceased host. Your mind is your own again. For now.
You know what I really miss about Baldur's Gate? The food. Freshest fish I've ever had.
I don't care for fish. Red meat. Now, that's a different matter. Rare as can be. Dripping.
Well, unless we find a cure, you won't have any teeth to chew it with soon enough.
Only gonna ask you one more time, boy. Hand over my locket.
I don't have your ugly locket. I've never seen it before.
Hand it over or I'll slap the teeth out of your head. You threatening me? You don't understand. The kid stole my locket. He... Oh, the hell's with this? These little devils get away with everything because of coddling bastards like you. You'll get yours someday. I hope I get to see it.
Maybe you will, but personally, I doubt it. See you around.
Never get the smell out of my clothes. I'll have to burn them.
Lee and Roland would never admit it, but they take an arrow for the other. Also stab each other. Not sure what'll come first. Thanks for cutting in. There might have been more than words if you hadn't.
We should have left by now. Damnation! Instead, we're just sitting here, practically begging to be attacked. Staying is a mistake. And what about us? There's every chance we've doomed ourselves by helping these people. We will end up fodder for some goblin's blade, all because Leah insists on helping every wounded foe we see. Our best chance to make it to Baldur's Gate is on our own. This place is lost. You are looking at Leroican's newest apprentice. Yes, that Leroican. The greatest wizard in Baldur's Gate. His name is known far and wide, I see. Few can match him in terms of raw power and talent. Until now, that is. In years to come, you will boast of this meeting, I can assure you. May we meet again in Baldur's Gate, my friend.
Don't be grumpy, Roland.
Those goblins will rue the day they chose to tangle with this grove. You and I will do some good here. I can feel it.
We're exposed now.
You! Saw you fighting those slimy bastards. Fancy a bowl? Best to fill your belly now, while we still can. Look, it ain't much, but it might make all the difference. The only way we'll make it to Baldur's Gate is to run, and run hard. If a gnoll catches your scent, you'll need every bit of strength. Trust me.
Thunderwave.
Depends. How many people are dumb enough to ask?
True. No helping it. We're exposed now.
Ah, if it isn't the talk of the camp. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh! There isn't a bit of colour in those cheeks, Petal. Are you hurt? Cold? Feverish? Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore. Aha! You take a sup at that and you'll feel right as rain, sweetie. Well, that depends. What's wrong, lovey? I've seen it all. I once had a fella who'd been caught dabbling with a dryad. The wife was none too pleased and introduced him to a pot of boiling oil. But worry not. I fixed him up, and depending on the lighting, he looks good as new. My point is, whatever ails you, I promise I've seen worse.
Why, she sounds positively demented. I love it. Let's tell her everything.
What is it, Petal? What's wrong?
As you recount your adventure, Auntie Ethel nods along, her eyes wide.
You poor pet! My heart goes out to you, truly. I see no sign of a tentacle yet, but that could change in an instant. You need help. Serious help. I've ne'er a potion or lotion here that could do it, but... yes, I may have something at home. I've collected some interesting bits and bobs over the years. You'll have to stop by my house, just at the edge of the forest. Let me mark it on your map. I'll be heading back soon, so I can meet you there. Now, do you need anything? I have a few odds and ends for sale. Hey, bother. Be careful on the road. I'd hate if something happened to you. Take care, Petal.
Don't be grumpy, Roland.
Thanks for fighting off those goblins. If you need to replace any gear, just ask. My selection's pretty slim. I had to leave most of my equipment in Elturel. Of sorts. Used to be a bread and butter tinsmith before Elturel fell into Avernus. These days my talents are more eclectic. Learned a lot in my time in the Hells. Hope to forget most of it. But between you and me, there's nothing in all the realms like the utter power of infernal machinery. Alas, my offerings are far more humble these days.
What I wouldn't do for better tools.
Goblins, druids. This grove is a death trap. Grab what you can and get out. That's my advice.
True.
Let me hear you
Mordai's eyes. Another one. My friend's blood not enough. Come to rip me open too.
In Kresh Kalir, a formal greeting begins with a bow.
Is this monster with you?
You dare interrupt? Has the tadpole ravaged your senses?
Kitchoki. Fine.
On the road to Baldur's Gate, near the mountain pass. Saw us, for we saw it. Jammed its blade through Yul's belly, straight to the other side. And I just ran.
The map. Show me.
No hard feelings.
Swing and swing and...
Gods, deliver me.
The last time a subordinate questioned my judgment, I ate tongue stew that very night.
I warned you, didn't I? You ought to reconsider keeping her around before she causes real trouble.
Kenyak, your tantrum proves you no wiser than a hatchling. The teethling was clear. If there are Githyanki west of here, that must be our objective. Purification cannot wait. I am unfamiliar with the... well, I shall not say culture. Custom, perhaps. You will educate me on matters of this... Fey run. The Kresh holds the Zaithisk. It will cleanse us of the parasite. By covenant, I can say no more.
So, we've picked up a wizard who managed to get stuck in his own portal. Hardly a promising introduction.
The wizard was a useful find. Let's hope he's as powerful as he is verbose.
I understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less. I expect I am your first. I suppose I am as alien to you as you are to me. I know of your kind, but I do not often encounter them. That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake. Decadent, then. Lacking in economy. Like so much of this world and its undisciplined people. Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zaithisk purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Gale library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant, order turns to chaos, and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more, infinities upon infinities. Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out, and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is born. Words forged in steel. May your actions express the same metal. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that. The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me. Yes, if you give it no further thought. But anomalies lead to surprises. Bad surprises. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
Yes? Oh, darling, I'm hurt. I thought we had something special. I guess I'll spend my evenings lounging here while you do all the hard work. It sounds awful.
A good wizard is hard to find. Let's make Gale feel welcome, as best we can. Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it, and she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Zariel's own, chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach, even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlak might be taking, the damage she might be doing. A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more. All right. What else is on your mind? My father once said, "One does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call." So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. Proud? No. Angry. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the coast suffering. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. And it's nice to meet someone of your talents. Having a worm wriggling in my skull didn't instill much confidence in the days ahead. With you as my ally, the future looks a little less daunting. A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
You're not versed in magic, are you? Oh, I do apologize. I meant to ask, are you studied in magic? Namely, are you a wizard? Which you are not. If you meet any elder wizards, let me know. There is a matter I'd like to seek advice on from a master.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling. That's the spirit.
the pride of the gate.
No one stopped me yet.
I've heard you can't get blood from a stone, but apparently you can get a wizard from one. Gale seems interesting.
There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it. Fine. What's on your mind?
I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course. Perhaps. Perhaps not. If we do survive, we'll have separate lives to return to. I need to get to Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible. Thank you. And you're right. It's a delicate matter. Not something for light conversation.
You're not the kind of company I'd keep willingly, but all things considered, you'll do.
And I haven't forgotten that you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. Perhaps I'll be able to return the favor at some point.
Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think? Thank you. I'm sure we'll get along perfectly well.
A tingle runs through your head and down to your feet.
Ah, there it is. That shiver. Our little brainworms have made fast friends, it would seem. How do you feel? It's natural to suffer a touch of worry, but an illithid worm should be causing more than mild anxiety. Before the illithid's unscheduled surgery, I'd felled hundreds of beasts and a fair few fiends. The tadpoles weakened me, suppressed greater talents, but beyond that, I've showed no signs of turning. No nausea, no pain, not even a hot flash. Perhaps the worm's vat was poisoned. Perhaps we're uncommonly fit. Or perhaps the tadpoles are merely on holiday. We could conjecture all night. I suppose the why doesn't matter so much as the what next. And that answer is plain as the horns on a war devil's head. We get these things out. Let's get some rest. Dawn comes sooner than we think.
Finally, some good fortune. Come morning, we know what to do. I can't wait to get this thing out of my head. The same. These parasites are proving suspiciously benign. But suppose I turn. What would you do? Really? I'd just kill you. Anyway, get some rest. Try not to dream about tying me up.
You know, I've been thinking, reflecting on what tomorrow might bring. When we arrive at this Gith crash, will we find out how to bring the worm under control? Will this little adventure of ours be over? Why not? You've been to the Hells and back, survived the crash, survived everything that's followed. I'm not easily impressed by people, but you're stronger than I gave you credit for. Yes, we're more similar than I thought. Oh, I was leagues away. I just need to get some air, clear my head. I'll see you later, I'm sure. Sleep tight.
A fine evening, don't you think? The moonlight shines warmly on us. The breeze caresses our faces. Hideous. All of it. Would that I were doing battle up there, among the tears. Look above. Watch the moon cross the sky. The tears follow behind it. Rocky bodies tumbling through the sea of night. One of them is my crash. Clear. Your curiosity is to be commended. Githyanki are hatched in creches all throughout realm space. Clear is one of many. It's there I first saw a Kithrak mount a red dragon. Where I slit my cousins' throats at the Vaj's command. But enough of this. You are wasting your resting time. Come dawn, we resume our search for a creche.
Something the matter? Fine. What's on your mind? I must admit, you've been a surprise, and not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me. Besides, you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises?
ever done a good deed just for the sake of it?
I have performed deeds well and efficiently. Is this what you mean?
Not exactly. But you answered my question.
There's no time to waste.
You! Not another step, hear me? Boss! Got company up here!
What's this then? Trying to creep around us and loot the crypt? Not happening. Or is it the ship you're after? Don't matter either way. It's ours. All of it.
Well, in that case, come on, you lot. No point in getting killed. Second worm gets the cheese and all.
Second mouse gets the cheese, no?
Nobody's getting any damn cheese. Now move it!
It would have been quicker to kill them.
Where am I needed?
Let's move.